On a cloudy day here at Lemoy Field, we welcome you to the campus here at Post University in Waterbury, Connecticut for the start of the Post University Eagles softball season. As we welcome you inside to the broadcast booth, Griffin Castle on hand. So glad you could be with us here on this Monday afternoon, a doubleheader here today to start off the season for the Eagles out of the CACC. They are going against Franklin Pierce University out of the Northeast 10 Conference, the Ravens in town here in Waterbury. Head coach for the Eagles, it is Julie Meyer-Jones in her third season. And for Franklin Pierce, Andrew Kloss in his fifth year. Let's set the field here for your Eagles. In left field, it is Sam Ricarduli. In center, Carly Peruzzo. And in right field, Julia Maida. Pitching for the Eagles today is Jenny Riquelme. And right behind the dish, it is Juliana Sakala. At first base, Lily Tomasello. At third base, Brooke Dickinson. At second base, Madison Caldwell. And at shortstop, it is Caitlin DeAngelis. Doubleheader here today, here on this Monday afternoon. This is Game 1. Eagles in the white uniforms, and Franklin Pierce, they are in the purple uniforms. Again, so glad you could be with us here on the Nest Network, presented by the CACC Network. Let's look at the lineup here for Franklin Pierce. As you can see it on your screen, Kiara Works leading things off. She's going to be playing second base here today for the Ravens. Jenny Riquelme is a senior from Fairfax, Virginia, and the 2024 softball season is underway with the ball low and outside. The Eagles last year went 16-34 overall, 8-16 in conference. And that one slapped down the third base line. Foul, 1-1 count. Ravens dugout is loud here to start as they hail from Rindge, New Hampshire. The 1-1 fouled again once more, and it's a 1-2 count. Works is a sophomore from Indianapolis. Again, for the beginning of March, it's a very warm day here at Lemoy Field. The 1-2 upstairs. 2-2 count. And the 2-2. That's a base hit down the left. And the bad throw there is going to result in an extra base. Beautiful piece of two-strike hitting there by Works, and she's on second base here to start for Franklin Pierce. Now here's the left fielder, Bella Williams, hitting second here today for the Ravens. A runner in scoring position here early in the top of the first for the Ravens. The junior takes it low. Williams from Phoenix, Arizona, has an opportunity for her first run batted in here of the season early in the top of the first. And Griffin Castle on hand, so glad you're with us here on the CACC Network. Riquelme deals. And that's a called strike. One count to Williams. Riquelme deals. And she was able to get ahead of Works 1 and 2 on the previous at-bat, and now ahead of Williams 1 and 2 here. Sandra Rodriguez and James Rhines, the assistant coaches here for the Ravens. The 1-2. Flied up down the third base line, foul. On deck is the catcher, Ashley Cangiano. The 1-2. Slap down that third base line, foul. First two batters here for Raquelme, making her work. And Works had that single and then reached second on an error. Once again, the 1-2. DeAngelis Fields goes to third. Didn't get the tag down. Safe, and runners at the corners here with no outs in the top of the first. So Franklin Pierce wasting no time here to get things going with the bats. So here's a catcher for the Ravens. Ashley Cangiano, a senior from North Attleboro, Massachusetts. In a huge spot here with runners at the corners. Williams looked like she was going to steal there. And that Ravens dugout is alive and well here in the top of the first. They have a lot to cheer about, as that's a called strike. Raquelme just trying to settle down here in the top of the first and not allow too much damage here. Definitely looking a little dangerous here if you were an Eagles fan, with runners at the corners, no outs here in the top of the first in the season opener here for the Eagles. So glad you're with us here on the CACC Network. Griffin Cass on hand here at Lemoy Field on the beautiful campus here at Post University in Waterbury, Connecticut. Little outside there. And it's a 3-1 count to the catcher. And that's roped into left field. That will score a run and possibly another. Williams is holed up at third. And Franklin Pierce strikes first here with Cangiano, a RBI double. That was absolutely sliced down that third base line. So here's the cleanup hitter playing third here today for Franklin Pierce, number 88, Haley Bigwood, the senior. And she's got some runners out there for her. The 1-0. Caught. Nice hands there. Right at third. Brooke Dickinson barely had to move there, and the Eagles get their first out of the season. So here's Savannah Aragon, the lefty here. Aragon, a sophomore from California. in a big spot here for the Ravens. Still 2 out there in scoring position. The 1-0. Tapped to third. It's at first. And they hold up the runners. We have a pickle on that third base side. And safe is Williams. So 2 down here for the Eagles. That could not, past 2 at-bats could not have worked out more perfectly, for the Eagles. 2 down here. Yeah, the Eagles can escape here this top of the first with only allowing 1 run based off of how it started. That would definitely look positive. So there's Anna Erickson, playing first base here. Takes that one right down Broadway for strike 1. And that's going to find the outfield. 2 runs come in. And Franklin Pierce takes a 3-0 lead with Erickson. Getting 2 runners in there off of that single to left field. And Franklin Pierce, they've been pulling the ball here in this top of the first. So here's Danelle Bellevue, the designated player here today for the Ravens. Takes that one right down the middle for strike 1. The 0-1. Fouled away. Bellevue, a freshman from Baldenville, Massachusetts. Stands at 5'1". Runner goes. Throw down to second, not in time. So Erickson gets in scoring position here. Franklin Pierce looking to add to their total. It's already 3-0 here in the top of the first. The 0-2. Hit out of play foul. Nearly hit a car there in the parking lot. Once again, the 0-2. High and upstairs. Again, back here at Lemoy Field for the first time since the fall. On hand for those soccer and football games here, right here at Lemoy. Back out here for the commencement of the softball season. That one roped to left field. Digging around third and scoring. Erickson was chugging around that third base. And it is a 4-0 start by Franklin Pierce here in the top of the first, doing a lot of damage here to start the first game of the doubleheader. And they chant, she's a freshman, and she starts off her freshman campaign with an RBI double. So Franklin Pierce here to start their season in the top of the first. Has a chance to bat around the order. Here's Lita Vorseth, the shortstop for the Ravens. Takes the first pitch from Raquelme. high and upstairs. That Franklin Pierce dugout is jumping, to say the least, as that one's outside. And Franklin Pierce last year, 32-20, overall 16-8 in the NE10. That one's right down the middle for strike number 1. 2-1 count to Vorseth as the Eagles bullpen getting loose here. As that one is crushed out to center field. Peruzzo is under it and makes the grab to retire the side. But Franklin Pierce, they put 4 up on the board in the top of the first, and we head to the bottom of the first. Eagles will hit the bats, down by 4. All right, let's set the field here for the Ravens. In left field is Williams. In center is Oregwin. In right field it is Jones. Behind the dish it is Cangiano. On the mound is Samantha Sylvester, the senior from Morris, Connecticut. At third base it is Bigwood. Shortstop Vorseth. Second base Works. And at first base it is Erickson. So Rick Arduli, the left fielder here, to lead things off for the Eagles, their first at-bat of the season. And that one from Sylvester has a lot of hot sauce on it right down the middle for strike 1. That one's upstairs. Now Sylvester, a Connecticut native from Morris, stands at 5'5", right-hander. That one does not paint the outside corner. The Eagles need a response here in the bottom of the first. Gave up 4 runs in the top of the first, and there's a swing and a miss. 2 strikes now on the leadoff batter here for the Eagles. Rick Arduli, a graduate student, takes that one outside. She's from Yorktown, New York. And she hits that one foul to stay alive in the count. Good 2-strike hitting there from Rick Arduli. She batted .228 last year. Appeared in 46 games, making 44 starts, with 26 hits on the year in 114 at-bats. And she draws a walk here in her first at-bat of the season. So here's the shortstop, Caitlin DeAngelis. Takes that one outside. DeAngelis, a senior. Swings and misses at that one. The off-speed pitch there by Sylvester. The 1-1. Fouled. Nice hack there by DeAngelis. Could have been extra bases there if that was just a little more straightened out. One, two. Off speed. Going down to second. Safe. And DeAngelis makes it down to first. A little bizarre, as DeAngelis is called out. But Rick Arduli makes it down to second, so the Eagles have a runner in scoring position here with Lily Tomasello playing first base here for the Eagles today. Tomasello takes the first one. It's going to be an intentional walk here by Franklin Pierce. So Franklin Pierce does not want to face Tomasello right there. And that will bring up another power hitter here for the Eagles, Julia Regano. Last year hit .306 for the Eagles. .85 at-bats last year. 26 hits. Along with 16 RBIs. Regano in the designated player spot. Takes that one upstairs for ball one. And runners on second and first here for the Eagles with one out in the bottom of the first. If you're just tuning in, Franklin Pierce nearly hit around the order there in the top of the first, as that one's high and inside. Regano able to get ahead on the count here. Eagles in desperate need of some damage done here in the bottom of the first. And that one is down the third baseline, foul. Nice piece there by Regano. 2-1 count to number 17. And Regano, a graduate student, and the bullpen getting loose here for the Eagles. That is Alyssa Calabrese getting loose, number 21. That one is right down the pipe for strike number 2. 2-2 count. Sylvester working back from falling down 2-0. And the count here to the cleanup hitter here for the Eagles. 2-2. Ooh, nearly painted that outside corner. Here's a payoff pitch. Goes right to third. There's one. And there's two. Haley Bigwood stepping on the bag right to her right and then firing it over to first in time for the double play. And Franklin Pierce eludes the damage. It is still 4-0 Ravens as we head to the top of the second. All right, here's a 9-hitter for Franklin Pierce to start things off here in the top of the second. It's Amy Jones playing right field here today for the Ravens. Eagles not able to strike there in that bottom of the first in their first at-bats of the season. So here they are back on the field here, down 4-0. And this is the first game of the doubleheader here today, the season opener here for the Eagles. That bunt is laid down beautifully on that third base side, and an errant throw, and Jones is going to take second. Everything that could have gone wrong here to start for the Eagles has gone wrong. And the top of the order with Kiara Works, who singled in her first at-bat of the year. So here's Works. Again, singled to start the season off for Franklin Pierce in her previous at-bat. She squares, pulls it back, and that pitch from Raquel May is in the dirt. This is the 9th all-time matchup between the Eagles and the Ravens. Eagles 3-4-1. That one's hit to the third base side. They go to first with it in time. Jones finds her way to third. And the runner is advanced. And Werks does her job, and that will bring up the left fielder, Bella Williams, who reached first on a fielder's choice in her first at-bat of the year. The last matchup between the Ravens and the Eagles was March 27th of 2023, where the Eagles won 4-3 on the road. That one is skied into shallow center. Peruzzo catches. Tagging up is Jones, but she will not head home. 2 down here for the Eagles. Peruzzo makes her second grab of the game. And here's Cangiano, who had an RBI double in her first at-bat of the year. So again, Cangiano had that RBI double in her first at-bat, and a runner in scoring position. That is Jones at third base. With 2 down here in the top of the second. First pitch. Low for ball 1. The 1-0. Called strike. Paints that outside corner. That one looked a little high, but Raquel May gets the call. There's a 1-1. Breaking off-speed pitch. Right down Broadway. And it's a 1-2 count. Raquel May deals in the dirt. Nice block there. Sakala stops it. It's a short backstop there, so even if pitches do get by the catcher, and if you're on third, would it be too wise to head home as that one is fouled away? Another nice block there by Sakala. Count is full. Up next is Bigwood, who lined out to first in her first at-bat. The 3-2. Called strike three. No damage done in the top of the second. We head to the bottom of the second. Ravens 4, Eagles 0. Five, 6, 7 due up here for the Eagles in the bottom of the second. Riquelme, the pitcher here for the Eagles, will hit. Got word from the Director of Athletic Communications here, Michael Vesey, that Riquelme has never hit in her post-university career. Well, apparently she did back in her freshman year. But she is a senior, so it's been a while since she's been in the batter's box as she fouls that first pitch away. Pitcher on pitcher here. You love to see these duels, either on the softball or the baseball field. That one is right down the middle for strike two. And Sylvester gets ahead on her opponent on the mound. 0-2. That one's outside. That one looked pretty good from our vantage point. And we are out here in right field, above the fence. So glad you're with us here on this Monday afternoon for the start of the Post-University Eagles softball season. That's hit over the third base, but foul. Nice piece there by Riquelme. One, two. Base hit. Riquelme in her first at-bat since her freshman year delivers and slices that one up the middle for a line drive single. And that will bring up the catcher. First one right down the middle for strike one. Sakala is a senior, 5'2" from Cedar Grove, New Jersey. Hit .232 last year. That one's a little outside. Sylvester deals. That's hit. Vorseth. There's one. Over to first. And they get the out at second. But Sakala reaches first. And now we'll bring up Madison Caldwell playing second base here for the Eagles today. First pitch to Caldwell. Right down the middle, and they try to go to first with it to try and get Sakala, but it goes out to the outfield. Jones able to quickly get it back into the infield. That one's fouled to the Eagles' back to the Eagles' dugout. Caldwell is a senior from Townsend, Delaware. That one misses outside. Sylvester winds and deals and misses outside once more. That one caught right at second. That one kind of just died as Werricks makes the grab, and there's two down here in the bottom of the first. That one looked like it was going to come out to right field, but it just kind of died in the air. So Caldwell's retired, and that will bring up Brooke Dickinson playing third. Foul back to the backstop. And two down here in the bottom of the second. Sakala, the catcher for the Eagles, on first. Dickinson had 2 hits last year and 51 at-bats. Takes that one outside. Swings and misses at the 1-1. And Sylvester able to get ahead here. Trying to retire the side and head to the top of the third. That one just misses outside. 2-2. Peruso, the 9-hitter, on deck. Misses outside again. Count is full, 3-2. The payoff, hit right to first, and fielded cleanly by Erickson, and that will retire the side. 2 innings in the books. It's 4-0 Franklin Pierce here at Lemoy Field. Top of the third here at Lemoy Field. So glad you're with us here on the CACC Network. Griffin Cass on hand. Ravens 4, Eagles 0 as we begin the top of the third. So Bigwood, who lined out to third in her first at-bat, will lead things off here for the Ravens. They put up 4 runs in the top of the first, none in the top of the second. As that one from Raquel May is low. The 1-0. High and outside. And Bigwood able to get ahead in the count here. Three and oh. Hit the third off the 3-0. Didn't take. And the nice play there made by Dickinson. A little bizarre why Bigwood didn't take the 3-0, but she swings and it does not work out for Franklin Pierce. They're one down here in the top of the third. Now we're going to ground it out to the left side of the infield in her first at-bat. First pitch outside for ball 1. That one is skied, foul, down the third base line. One and one to the center fielder. It's that to the right side of the infield, and that sneaks through for a single. Caldwell was not able to get there. Beautiful piece of hitting there by Oregwin. So here's Erickson, who really blew it up in the top of the first. Had a 2 RBI single in her first at-bat. And hits this one to Dickinson. Goes to second. In time, there's one. And they will not get Erickson at first. 2 down here in the top of the third. There's Bellevue. Had an RBI double in her first at-bat. Runner goes. Throw down to second. And Erickson has a stolen base. Runner in scoring position here with 2 down. That was a called strike there. The 0-1 slap foul. And that blue car right behind the Franklin Pierce dugout is inevitably going to get hit. It's in a really bad spot. It's nearly been hit a few times. That one does not paint the outside corner. That one looked a little too close to tape there if you were Bellevue, but it's 1-2. Riquelme deals. And Bellevue gets a piece of it. So that hits her when she's out of the box, and the umpire calls strike 3. Let's head to the bottom of the third. Franklin Pierce for post 0. Bottom of the third here at Lemoy Field. Carly Peruso, the 9-hitter, will lead things off here for the Eagles, playing center field here today for a post. Peruso slaps that foul right down that first base line. Peruso Sr. from Hillsborough, New Jersey. Takes that one right down Broadway for strike 2. Peruso hit 182 last year, 44 at-bats, 8 hits. That one misses. 1-2 to the center fielder. Low and outside for ball 2. Two. Sky to center. And that's a can of corn for the first out here in the bottom of the third. Now, Araguin made that grab. And that will bring up the top of the order here for the Eagles. Rick Garduli, she walked in her first at-bat. First pitch to Rick Arduli. In there for a strike. Rick Arduli slaps that foul. Sylvester able to quickly get ahead. And that's something Sylvester has been able to do here for the majority of the batters she's faced. Being able to get ahead. She hasn't fallen behind in too many at-bats. Or gets too many batters, I should say. Doing a great job commanding the strike zone there. And when she's missed, like right there, she hasn't missed too far out. That one looked like a strike, but looks like a little bit outside. So here's a 1-2. That's a base hit. Right through third base and shortstop. And Rick Garduli, she has her first base knock of the year. That will bring up the shortstop for the Eagles, DeAngelis, who struck out in her first at-bat. So Eagles with 1 out, have a runner on base. Trying to get something going offensively. And that's going to be a foul ball. Post men's basketball tomorrow night. We'll be hosting some quarterfinal matchups at the Drubner Center. Make sure to tune into that one right here on the CACC network. Should be a lot of fun. As there's a swing and miss at the off-speed pitch there by DeAngelis. 0-2 count. Sylvester once again able to get ahead here. Just misses outside against Sylvester. When she misses, she doesn't miss by much. She's right around that zone. Has been filling it up here to start in her first start of the year. Nice fight there by DeAngelis. Swing and a miss. Beautiful off-speed pitch there by Sylvester. That one just hung and then dropped in the strike zone. And there's 2 down here in the bottom of the third. There's Tomasello, who got intentionally walked in her first at-bat of the year, and now Franklin Pierce is going to have to face her with a runner on first. Two down. First pitch. A little upstairs. High and inside. 2-0 count. A rare occurrence here from Sylvester, falling behind in the count. She will have to work behind now to the power hitter here. And that one is smoked into right center field. And Tomasello strolls into second. Rick Arduli held up at third, and the Eagles have something brewing here with 2 outs in the bottom of the third. That was absolutely smoked to right center field. The exit velo on that, I really wonder what that was. That one came off the bat with a lot of velocity there by Tomasello. And the Eagles, with Regano, 2 on, in scoring position. And a major opportunity here for the Eagles. Really cannot leave anyone on base here. Down by 4, trying to get back into this game. And they have a golden opportunity to do so. Swing and a miss by Regano. One and one. High and inside. And you wonder if you intentionally walk Regano here with Raquelme. She did have a single last at bat, but she's not known to be a hitter. Obviously, Franklin Pierce not doing that, as that one is low. 3-1. So Sylvester facing some adversity here in the bottom of the third. And she walks her, heading home. Safe! Rick Arduli heads home, and the Eagles get their first run of the season. It's 4-1 Franklin Pierce. That looked a little dangerous there to head home. Again, very short backstop. But it pays off for the Eagles, and they get on the board and get some momentum here in the bottom of the third. That's smoked to center. RBI single for the pitcher. Back-to-back singles for Raquelme, and it's 4-2. First pitch, first swing. And the Eagles have something cooking here in the bottom of the third. And a mound visit is going to be held here for Franklin Pierce, and they are going to get the bullpen loose. So Raquelme in her first at-bats since her freshman year, 2 singles. You can't make this stuff up. What a story here. Helping herself out. And the Eagles, we have a brand new game here. It's 4-2. And Franklin Pierce put up 4 in the top of the first. As that one's hit right to Vorseth, she steps on second in time. Let's head to the top of the fourth, not before the Eagles get 2 on the board. It's 4-2 Franklin Pierce. Top of the fourth. Here at Lemoy Field, the Eagles put 2 on the board there in the bottom of the third, and we have ourselves a brand new ball game here. And Franklin Pierce, if you were just tuning in, put up a 4 spot in the top of the first, and the Eagles provide a response in that bottom of the third. How about the pitcher, Jenny Raquelme? 2 singles here in her first at-bat since her freshman year. And she does a good job of helping herself out. Now she's back on the mound here with Franklin Pierce eyeing some revenge from that bottom of the third. As that first pitch slapped foul right at the Franklin Pierce dugout. It's the shortstop Vorseth at bat. She flied out to center in her first at bat. 0-1. Off-speed pitch is low for a ball. That one roped right up the middle. Base knock. And the shortstop for the Ravens has her first base knock of the year. So we'll have a pinch runner here for Vorseth. So pinch running is number 21 for Franklin Pierce, Molly Magnetti. And the right fielder, Amy Jones, who had a bunt single, and she reached second on that throwing error. First pitch to Jones, upstairs for ball 1. 1-0. Raquelme falls behind in the count here. Oh no, that's a called strike. Looked a little high. Sakala had to pop out of her squat to catch that. But nonetheless, a called strike, 2-1 count to the right fielder. Fired to first in time. Nice pick up and throw there by DeAngelis. Runner advances to second. So Franklin Pierce with one down here in the top of the fourth has a runner in scoring position with the top of the order. Works is 1 for 2 on the day. Got single in her first at bat. That one's dribbled to the third base line. Foul. 8 hits for Franklin Pierce, 4 for Post. Post has made an error. Franklin Pierce has made 0. And it is a 4-2 game here in the first game of our Monday afternoon doubleheader to kick things off here in this regular season for your Eagles. 2024 softball season underway. That one slapped to DeAngelis. Tried to Derek Jeter style that, but didn't have the angle there to throw it over. And she'll just eat it. And an infield single there for Works, her second single of the day. She's 2 for 3 now. So runners on second and first here for Franklin Pierce. With only one out, trying to provide a response here after the Eagles put up a 2 spot in the bottom of the third. Runners go. Safe at third, safe at second. 2 in scoring position now for Bella Williams. She reached first on a fielder's choice in her first at-bat, then flew out to center in her second at-bat. 0-1 is low. One. Sliced out into shallow center. Peruso coming in, tagging, and fires a bullet down to home plate. Peruso makes her third grab of the game out in center for the second out here in the top of the fourth. So here's Cangiano, who has an RBI here in this one off of that double in her first at-bat. 2 out there for her right now with 2 outs, and that one is smoked into left center field. There it goes. See ya. A 3-run shot for Cangiano puts Franklin Pierce up 7-2. Wow. That one flew off of the bat. The exit velo that on that was magnificent. And just like that, one swing of the bat, that's why you love this sport. It can just change the game, one swing. And Franklin Pierce now has their largest lead of game one. As that one is slapped down the third base line. My goodness, that one left the yard by Cangiano in a hurry. It had somewhere to be. So here's a cleanup hitter, Bigwood, playing third base. She's 0 for 2 on the day. That one down the left field line, drops for a single. She will hold up at first. And this 2-out rally here from Franklin Pierce. So here's a center fielder, Aragon, who's singled to right in her last at-bat. She's 1 for 2 on the day. First pitch. Right down the middle for strike 1. 11 hits now for Franklin Pierce. 2 posts is 4. That one slapped. Picked up by Dickinson and fired to first in time to retire the side. Let's head to the bottom of the 4th. Avery Congiano with a monster 3-run shot to put Franklin Pierce up 7-2. Bottom of the 4th, Eagles trail by 5. 7-2. 7, 8, 9 due up here for the Eagles in the bottom of the 4th. Caldwell, who lined out to second base in her first at-bat. Will have her second at-bat of the year. Called strike on the outside corner. 0-2. Sylvester, who has been on her game here, misses upstairs and outside on that one. Sylvester now at 58 pitches, allowed 4 hits, 2 runs. And she retires Caldwell there. Called strike 3. 1 down here in the bottom of the 4th. So here's Brooke Dickinson, who has had a nice day at third base. Grounded out to first base in her first at-bat. Fouls out to the backstop. Swing and a miss at the off-speed pitch there. Beautiful delivery there by Sylvester. And Dickinson down 0-2 in the count. That one misses outside. One, two. Upstairs. All speed pitch slipped out of the hands there of Sylvester. Two. Dickinson able to spoil that. Down the right field line, foul. Nice piece of hitting here by Dickinson. Working a good at-bat here. Once again, the 2-2. Into the Franklin Pierce bullpen. 3 consecutive foul balls by Dickinson. Sylvester deals. Misses. Looked a little inside there, and the count is full at 3-2. Payoff. Dickinson working a great at-bat here. Goes right back at Sylvester. And she catches it cleanly for the second out of the inning. And that will bring up the 9-hitter. Peruso, who flied out to center in her first at-bat. Two down here in the bottom of the 4th. Peruso takes a hack at that one, foul. That was right down the pipe. And Sylvester doing what she's been doing all day, getting ahead of the batters at a frequent clip. Here's the 0-2. Nice spot there. This is a little bit outside, trying to get Peruso to chase. One, two. Swing and a miss. 1, 2, 3. Down here in the bottom of the 4th. 4 innings done. Let's head to the top of the 5th. Ravens 7, Eagles 2. So Jenny Raquelme's day is done, and on the mound now in relief is Alyssa Calabrese. The freshman from Oakville, Connecticut, stands at 5'10", right-hander. Raquelme threw 62 pitches. Gave up 11 hits, 7 earned runs. And now it's Calabrese's job to relieve her here in the top of the 5th. So glad you're with us here on the CACC Network. Hope you're having a wonderful Monday afternoon. And if you're just tuning in, Post Hoops is in a quarterfinal matchup tomorrow. Men's will be at 5:30 against Wilmington, and then the women's at 7:30 against Goldie Beacom. A trip to the semifinals for both programs on the line tomorrow night, right at the Drumner Center here at Post. And for now, this is the first game of the doubleheader here today, opening up the season for these Post Eagles. Softball down 7-2 here. Put up 3 runs in the bottom of the 3rd. But Franklin Pierce put up that 4 spot in the top of the 1st, and then 3 last inning off of that Cangiano 3-run blast out to left center field. That one smoked to left field, track, wall. Foul. That one was roped by Erickson. And Erickson 1 for 2 on the day. And that 2 RBI single in her first at-bat. And almost just had a home run there. That one was smoked to left field. She pulls it once more. This one foul again. 1-2 count. One, two on its way from Calabrese. Hit out to center. Caruso under it and makes the grab for the first out here in the top of the 5th. That will bring up Bellevue, who struck out in her last at-bat, had an RBI double in her first at-bat, 1 for 2 on the day. Righty on lefty here. Calabrese deals the first pitch. A little upstairs. The 1-0. Low. Ball 2. The 2-0. Upstairs and in. 3-0 count to Bellevue. And Bellevue in the designated player spot here today in the first game of the doubleheader. Four straight balls, and Bellevue will take first. And that will bring up the shortstop, Borseth, who was 1 for 2 on the day, singled up the middle in her previous at-bat, flew out to center in her first at-bat. The junior digs in. Outside. Bellevue able to steal that base. Runner in scoring position now for Franklin Pierce, trying to tack onto their lead. And it has been 6 straight balls from Calabrese in her collegiate debut. Again, a freshman, Connecticut native from Oakville, stands at 5'10", looking to get her first strike. And that one's inside. 3-0 count. Gets her first strike right there of her collegiate career. 7 straight balls before that. Now she's looking to settle down. She deals the 3-1. Upstairs and in. Ball 4. And that will pay a visit to the mound. Looking to settle the freshman down here. So here's the 9-hitter, Amy Jones, who is 1 for 2 on the day. Ground out to shortstop. In her first at-bat, in her previous at-bat, I beg your pardon. In her first at-bat, she had that bunt single and reached second on the throwing error. So here she is with 1 out. In the top of the 5th, runners on second and first. First pitch on its way from Calabrese. Bunt laid down. Sorry, tried that in her first at-bat. This one is foul. Right idea, though. Trying to advance the runners into scoring position. Bellevue is already in scoring position at second. The 0-1. Sliced foul. And Calabrese able to get ahead here. Oh, 2. Hit right back up to the pitcher. She goes to first with it, but an errant throw. And Jones reaches first, and the bases are jacked here with only 1 out in the top of the 5th. Scary situation here if you're an Eagles fan. It's still a game only down by 5. That's manageable, but some damage here could really blow this game open. And the top of the order coming up here for Franklin Pierce, so an auspicious situation here for the Ravens. So pinch hitter here for Franklin Pierce. Susana Campos, a senior from Lemoore, California. Pinch hitting here in a big spot for Franklin Pierce. Takes that one low. 1-1 count. 1 out. Bases are loaded for Franklin Pierce, up by 5 runs here in the top of the 5th. An opportunity to blow the doors open here on the first game of this Monday afternoon doubleheader. That's hit down the third base line, foul. And Calabrese imperatively able to get ahead. Franklin Pierce bullpen is active behind the left field fence. Sylvester has done an excellent job here today as Calabrese deals, swing and a miss. Big strikeout there from the freshman. And there's 2 down here in the top of the 5th. That was a much needed strikeout there by Calabrese. But her job is not done here in this top of the 5th. 2 down. Williams is up. She flew out to center in her previous at-bat. The first pitch from Calabrese is upstairs for a ball. Eagles would be really fortunate to get out of this situation with no damage done and get back to the bats in the bottom of the 5th, only down by 5. But that one is hit out to left field, tailing foul. And it is foul as it hits the fence. Nice piece there by Williams. And this is the season opener here for the softball season 2024. Both of these teams opening up their season in an out-of-conference matchup. Franklin Pierce from the Northeast 10 and your Eagles from the CACC. As that one is hit to shallow center. Will it drop? No, it won't. DeAngelis makes the grab, and the Eagles avoid a scary situation in the top of the 5th. They head to the bottom of the 5th, down by 5. You are watching Division II softball here on the CACC network. Sylvester is back out on the mound here where she has been flawless for Franklin Pierce here all afternoon in the first game of our Monday afternoon doubleheader. Franklin Pierce up by 5. So here's the top of the order for the Eagles. Rick Arduli swings and misses at the first pitch. Rick Arduli walked in her first at-bat, then had a single in her previous at-bat. Here in her third, she gets another single. Back-to-back singles for Rick Arduli. And the Eagles have a leadoff base runner here in the bottom of the 5th. So here's DeAngelis, who's 0 for 2 with 2 strikeouts. First pitch So the shortstop is upstairs for ball one. Sun is trying to peek through the clouds. And it's been a cloudy day here on this Monday afternoon in the beginning of March. First one was high, this one is low, and it's 2-0 to the shortstop. Eagles trying to get themselves back into this game, down by 5. That one does not paint the outside corner, 3-0. Four straight balls to the shortstop. And that will bring up the power hitter here, Tomasello, who absolutely destroyed a ball in her previous at-bats to right center field. That one hopped the fence as she strolled into second for a double, and she has a runner on second and a runner on first here with no outs in the bottom of the 5th. And we are going to have a mound visit and possibly a pitching change here, as Sylvester's day might be done, and it is. So we are going to have a call to the bullpen. Samantha Sylvester with a fantastic outing here today, and we'll step aside here on the CACC network. So here is Sabrina Gonzalez, number 44, a senior, right-hander from Chandler, Arizona, in relief here for Sylvester. I think the coaching staff for Franklin Pierce realized that Sylvester was starting to get a little fatigued, and they call in for a pitching change here with no outs in the bottom of the 5th, runners on second and first, and Tomasello in the box. First pitch in the dirt. Tomasello, again, in her last at-bat, absolutely destroyed a ball to right center field. That one hopped the fence. She strolled into second for a double. She was intentionally walked in her first at-bat. This one is at her knees and low. 2-0. Eagles trying to get something brewing here in the bottom of the 5th, down by 5. They put 2 runs up in the bottom of the 3rd, and this one is right down Broadway for strike number 1. Looked like Tomasello was waiting to see a strike there before she's going to swing away. And now she's going to dig into the batter's box here. 2-1 on its way from Gonzalez. Low, ball 3. The 3-1. Foul behind the backstop. Count is full. Big time payoff pitch right here. Foul down that third base line. Regano on deck. The 3-2. Upstairs, ball 4. Bases are juiced. No outs here in the bottom of the 5th. So here's Regano, who grounded out into a double play in her first at-bat. Swings and misses at that one for strike number 1. It seems like there is just no scenario where the Eagles cannot walk away from this half inning without some runs put up on the board. As Regano slaps that one to the backstop. Again, bases are loaded, no outs. An absolutely picture-perfect situation here for the Eagles to try and get right back in this game, down by 5 runs. Regano down 0-2. Here's the 0-2. Fouled away. Nice job spoiling it from number 17. And Regano, a graduate student from Franklin Square, New York. And a huge opportunity here for the Eagles. In their first game of the season, their season opener, their home opener. The 0-2 is low. That one's hit right to second. And the catch is made. Not able to get DeAngelis out at second. So one down here in the bottom of the 5th. Nice grab there. Works was able to get her glove on it, and that will bring up the freshman, Alyssa Calabrese. Takes a big hack at the first pitch and whiffs. That one misses. 1-1. Some big swing and a miss in the dirt there. One, two. Outside. 2-2 count here to the relief pitcher for the Eagles, the freshman from Oakville, Connecticut. 2-2. Slapped. Stepped on first. They go to home with it. Safe. Runner scores. Eagles cut the deficit to 4. So the sacrifice there by Calabrese. She's out at first. And that will bring up the catcher, Juliana Sakala. Two runners in scoring position. And the first one is outside. DeAngelis at third. Tomasello at second. And Sakala at the plate. Hits that to the second base. And Works makes the grab. Eagles had bases loaded with no outs, and they're only able to manage 1 run across the board. We head to the 6th with Franklin Pierce up by 4. Top of the 6 here at Lemoy Field at the beautiful campus here at Post University in Waterbury, Connecticut. So glad you're with us here on the CACC Network. First game of this doubleheader here on this Monday afternoon to open up the 2024 regular season for softball here in the CACC for the Eagles, welcoming Franklin Pierce out of the Northeast 10 Conference. And Griffin Cass on hand, so glad you could be with us in Waterbury, Connecticut. A beautiful day here in the beginning of March. Temperatures in the low 50s, a cloudy day, but sun is starting to peek through here. Again, one more game coming up right after this one, the second half of our Monday afternoon doubleheader. And looking at some other news around Post University athletics, Post Hoops is in huge playoff games tomorrow night right at the Drumner Center. It's the quarterfinals in the CACC tournament. The men's will be playing Wilmington at 5:30, and then the women's will be playing Goldie Beacom at 7:30. Should be a lot of fun. Make sure if you're a post-university student to pop out and head over to the Drumner Center and make some noise for your Eagles as they, both the women's and the men's, try and punch their ticket to the semifinals. 2-1 count here. Calabrese deals. Absolutely raked down that left side. Way foul. But that one came off of the bat with a lot of exit velo. And this is Cangiano, who had that 3-run dinger in the 4th inning. She draws a walk here. So here's Haley Bigwood, 1 for 3 on the day. First pitch from Calabrese. Runner goes. Throw down to second. Not in time. Cangiano got a great jump on that one. So a runner in scoring position here for Franklin Pierce, up by 4. And that one hits the batter. Bigwood will take first as she runs it off. That never feels good. And here's Arguin, who is 1 for 3 on the day. And that lone single to right field. Opportunity for her to create some damage here. She's a sophomore from California. That one misses outside. Here's the 1-0. Upstairs and outside for ball 2. No outs here in the top of the 6th. Runners on second and first for the Ravens as the umpire calls for time. As it looks like Bigwood needs to attend to her shoelace. And here's the 2-0. Slapped down that third base line, foul. On deck is Erickson, who is 1 for 3 on the day. That one's low. for ball 3. 3-1 count. Last thing Calabrese wants to do here is load the bases. With Erickson coming up, who has made contact in all 3 of her at-bats, as that one is a called strike right down Broadway. And we have a full count, 3-2. Here's the payoff pitch. Slap foul. Nice effort there by the shortstop, DeAngelis, diving out, trying to make that grab in foul territory. Not able to get there, however. 3-2 once again. Rolled over. Foul on the first base line. Oregon making the freshman work here to put her away. Calabrese is at 30 pitches now in relief. Pitch count has risen here. And Raquelme got the start. Gave up 11 hits, 7 runs. All things considered, Calabrese has done a solid job here in relief. She did start her collegiate career with 7 straight balls, but has settled in here a little bit since then. Three balls, 2 strikes. Calabrese deals. Runners go. And they slide down there at third. As Oregon was put away. And that will bring up, as that one's hit out to left field. And that's an RBI single for Erickson. Excuse me, RBI double. And Franklin Pierce tacks on to the lead. So here's Bellevue. That one misses outside to number 10. Low and outside for ball 2. The Franklin Pierce dugout spoke that pitch into existence. Two-0. Hit right to Caldwell. Goes to first with it. Not in time. Or no, yes, in time. By a hair. Well, that drives in a run, so the sacrifice ground out pushes the lead to 9-3 for Franklin Pierce. And Bellevue is going to be greeted with pleasure by her teammates. 2 down here in the top of the 6th. Runner on third. And here is Vorseth, the shortstop. Pulls that one foul. Vorseth 1 for 2 on the day. She skies that in the infield. And Tomasello is under it to retire the side. Franklin Pierce, they put up 2 runs at the top of the 6th, and it's a 9-3 Ravens lead heading to the bottom of the 6th. Bottom of the 6th. Do the Eagles have some fight in them, or is it just going to continue to be some more dominance by Franklin Pierce, up 9-3 here as we are starting the bottom of the 6th. So we have a pinch hitter here, Bailey Dickinson, the junior from Vineland, New Jersey, leading things off here for the Eagles in the bottom of the 6th, trying to get something going here. As that's a nice hit, but kind of died in the air there, and Erickson makes the grab off of the first pitch. So here's Brooke Dickinson. First pitch, first swing. 2 pitches, 2 outs here for Franklin Pierce in the bottom of the 6th. And that will bring up the 9-hitter, the center fielder, Carly Peruso. There's Peruso. Again, 2 pitches, 2 outs. Been a quick bottom of the 6th here at Lemoy Field. Again, so glad you're with us here on the CACC Network. Season opener for Post University softball. They went 16-34 last year and 8-16 in conference. The 1-0 is low. Peruso able to get ahead on the count. She is 0 for 2 today. And sun really starting to peek through the clouds here on the beautiful campus here at Post University. That's a called strike. Gonzalez deals outside. 3-1 count to the center fielder from Hillsborough, New Jersey. Gonzalez deals, swing and a miss. Excuse me, it was not 3-1. There was obviously 2 strikes, and Peruso goes down 1-2-3 for Franklin Pierce in the bottom of the 6th. Let's head to the 7th. Franklin Pierce 9, Post 3. Let's go. Top of the 7th here in the first game of our Monday afternoon doubleheaders, kicking off the post-university softball season. Franklin Pierce 9, Post 3. As Calabrese, a freshman here in relief, still on the mound for the Eagles. At 44 pitches, and it'll be the right fielder here, Amy Jones, to lead things off for Franklin Pierce. Jones is 1 for 3 on the day. That one slapped down the third base line. Foul, just foul. Little Ichiro Suzuki style right there, running out of the box and hitting it Oppo Taco. And sun is completely peeked through here at Lemoy Field. A beautiful day here in the beginning of March, kicking off this 2024 post-university softball season. That one's hit right to Caldwell. Fields it cleanly, throws to first. Not in time. Flying down that first base line was Jones, and she has an infield single to kick things off here in the top of the 7th. She turned on the jets right out of the box. Was wheeling down, chiseling, I should say, down that first base line. And that will bring up the top of the order here for Franklin Pierce. Works, who is 2 for 3 on the day. She has had a fantastic day at the batter's box, and she slaps this one right to Caldwell. Took a bad hop, and that's an error. And Works reaches first. That was just unlucky there by Caldwell. Hit a really bad hop there in the infield. Looks like we're going to have a pinch runner or a pinch hitter here for Franklin Pierce, as the umpire is conversing with Andrew Kloss. So it is Andy Anderson pinch hitting here for Bella Williams. Anderson wears number 22, a sophomore from Phoenix, Arizona. Pinch hitting here in a big spot for Franklin Pierce. 2 runners on, no outs here in the top of the 7th. Tries to lay down the bunt there. One out. 2-0 as that one is low and outside. And don't go anywhere at the conclusion of this game. We still got the second half of the doubleheader coming up next on the CACC network. The square, and the pitch is upstairs. 3 straight balls by Calabrese. Rio, the square, laid down beautifully. Wow, that's a sensational bunt by Anderson. Put it in the perfect spot, and the bases are juiced for Franklin Pierce with no outs here in the top of the 7th. Textbook bunt right there. If you're a young softball player watching this game, that is exactly how you want to square there and lay down that bunt. Picture perfect. So bases are loaded here for the power hitter, Cangiano, who has a 3-run dinger here in this one. Got under that one. Flied out in the infield. And Tomasello can't get to it. Yeah, so the infield fly there. Congiano out automatically. So here's Bigwood with one down. Base is still loaded for Franklin Pierce. That one paints the outside corner beautifully by Calabrese. Nice spot. Calabrese deals the 0-1 in the dirt. Nice block there. Sakala has had several nice blocks behind the dish. Done a great job behind the plate. And the senior and the freshman will deal off the 1-1 outside. Ball 2. Calabrese deals. Upstairs for ball 4. And that will walk in a run. Jones trots in. And it is 10-3, Franklin Pierce. And did another run just score? I believe so. Franklin Pierce catches post lacking right there. And Sakala is looking for an explanation to the umpire. Wow, so that is, thankfully for post, it's not a close game, because if it was, that would be an egregious mistake by the post infield. I mean, you have to call for time if you're going to go out to the mound there. I mean, imagine if it was a one-run game, or tied for that matter. That would be on SportsCenter's not top 10. So it's 11-3 Franklin Pierce. 1 out, runners on second and third. Eagles just trying to get back into the dugout to get to the bats and try and get some motion going in the bottom of the 7th. Down by 8 runs here. First pitch in the dirt there by Calabrese. The sun went back behind the clouds there and noticed the temperature decrease. And that one's right down the middle for a strike. Pardon me. Calabrese paints the outside corner. Beautiful spot. Calabrese winds and deals. That's a rope down the third base line, foul. Just misses inside right there. Nice spot by Calabrese. Two. Upstairs. Count is full. Payoff. Hit into the outfield. That will bring in one. And an RBI double there for Jenna Murray. Oh, pinch hitting right there for Franklin Pierce, the senior from Wilbraham, Massachusetts. Tacks on to the Franklin Pierce lead. It's now 12-3. So here's Anna Erickson digging in. Still one out. Hit down the third base line, foul. Yeah, game 2 is up next following the conclusion of this one. It was supposed to start at 3, but that is obviously not going to happen. It will likely start at 4 o'clock. Got jammed there. And it will sail out of play. That's right. Out into left field. One run comes in. Murray is held up at third. And Erickson strolls into second. The influx of hits continuing here for Franklin Pierce, and they are just in their feelings. Up by 10 now. 13-3. And that will pay a mound visit. Franklin Pierce dominating here. 6 unanswered runs for the Ravens. And the cheers and the dances continuing for the Ravens, who have every right to flaunt their wings and cheer to the loudest extent, as they are just putting on an absolute display here at Lemoy Field in the first game of our Monday afternoon doubleheader. 16 hits now for Franklin Pierce to Post's 5. Still only one out here in the top of the 7th. Runners on second and third for the Ravens. Calabrese deals the first pitch. And pinch hitting now is Charlotte Hartenstein, the freshman from Massapequa, New York. She plays catcher and second base. Ahead in the count, now 2-0. Jammed. Caldwell charges in, catches, flips with the glove, in time. Pretty play. Didn't have the time to transfer it from the glove to the hand there, so she just decided to flip it with the glove with the ball in her hand, and there's 2 down here in the top of the 7th. So 1 run came in there. It's 14-3 now, Franklin Pierce. Runner on third, 2 down. Sliced. The 17th hit of the game for Franklin Pierce. And their 15th run. That was Vorseth slicing it into left field for the base knock, an RBI single. So now Amy Jones is up. Six runs now have been put up in the top of the 7th for Franklin Pierce. Charging in is Peruso. That will get behind her and will go all the way to the fence. Jones is rounding third. No, she will stop at third. Sixteenth run comes in for Franklin Pierce, and the doors are just completely blown open here for the Ravens in the first game of this doubleheader. So Werricks is up. She's 2 for 4 on the day. First pitch is low from Calabrese. The 1-0. Sliced. DeAngelis Fields throws, and it eludes the glove of Tomasello. Now we'll bring in another run for Franklin Pierce, up 17-3. So here's Anderson, who's 1 for 1 in her second at bat of the day. Pinch hitting here for Franklin Pierce. That one's upstairs. That's it. Into the outfield. Charging in. And the catch is made by Rick Arduli. And that will take us to the bottom of the 7th. Franklin Pierce, they put up 7 runs in the top of the 7th. And they have a 17-3 lead as we head to the bottom of the 7th. All right, bottom of the 7th here at Lemoy Field. Franklin Pierce, they put up a number in that 7th inning. They are now up 17-3 as we are starting this bottom of the 7th. Top of the order here for the Eagles. Rick Arduli, who made that grab to make the third out in left field. We'll start things off here for the Eagles in the bottom of the 7th. Down by 14 runs. And it's been Franklin Pierce that has just been dancing around the field, cheering, and they are just having a fun time, as you can see out onto the field. Hey, when you're up 14 runs, you are most definitely allowed to enjoy yourself. It's been a rough first game of the season here for the Eagles, but they have a chance in the second half of our doubleheader to avenge this loss and come out with a better performance. Game's still not over. Franklin Pierce 3 outs away from securing their first win of the season in their season opener. And on the mound here in relief to close it out is the freshman Rayleigh Gilbert from Waterville, Maine. Stands at 5'4", right-hander. The 1-0 misses outside. Two-0. Off-speed pitch. Misses. 3-0 count to the left fielder. Four straight balls. And Rick Arduli will take first. So it'll be the shortstop DeAngelis here to dig in. She struck out twice, walked in her previous at-bat. 0 for 3 on the day. Run on first here, no outs. Bottom of the 7th. First pitch in there for a strike. That one's fouled away. Goes behind the Eagles dugout. 0-2 now. Gilbert able to get ahead. Gilbert making her collegiate debut as a freshman. That one sliced into right center field. Nice piece of hitting there. Will go all the way out to the wall. As DeAngelis strolls into second, Rick Arduli is heading home, and it's an RBI for DeAngelis. So Eagles, they get their first run since the 5th inning. They put 2 up in the 3rd, 1 in the 5th, and now 1 here in the 7th. And that will bring up Tomasello here. First pitch low. That one's hit out, foul, down the left field line. Gilbert deals. Nice off-speed pitch. Drops in there for a strike. And it's 1-2 now to the power hitter. One, two. Smoked. Down the left field line, foul. Thomas, I mean, the ball just flies off of her bat with an insane amount of velocity. So again, 8 runs in that top of the 7th for Franklin Pierce. Has them at a 17-4 lead. Looking at the runs per inning for the Ravens, they put up 4 in the first, 3 in the fourth, 2 in the 6th, and then 8 in the 7th. They have 18 hits to the Eagles 6. Five errors for the Eagles, 1 for the Ravens. And Tomasello will crush that out to right center field. That will bring home a run. Tomasello, she'll head for second. She'll charge in, and she's safe. So 2 runs now here in the bottom of the 7th for the Eagles. Still no outs. This would be the greatest comeback in softball history if they could erase the 14-run deficit. Gilbert trying to close it out for Franklin Pierce. And here's Regano. First pitch to Regano. Misses outside. The 1-0. Fouled. Back to the backstop. That paints the outside corner. 1-2. Gilbert deals the 1-2. This is outside. Two. Low. Count reaches its extent at 3-2. Ball 4. Gilbert just having a tough time trying to get into a groove here in the bottom of the 7th. Still no outs. And that will pay a mound visit. The 0-1 with runners at second and first. And Calabrese skies it foul. Franklin Pierce still in search for their first out here in the bottom of the 7th. And Gilbert will wind up and deal. High and inside. Two. Caught. Nice effort by the catcher. That's Charlotte Hartenstein. That's behind the dish. Beautiful grab there for the first out here in the bottom of the 7th. So here's Sakala, catcher for the Eagles. Digs in with a runner on second and first. That one is upstairs for ball 1 on the first pitch from Gilbert. 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. 7 hits for the Eagles, 18 for the Ravens. The 1 out, fouled. Sakala is 0 for 3 on the day. Oh, it's right down Broadway for a called strike. 1-2 count. Gilbert up to 17 pitches here in this 7th inning. One, two. Got jammed. Base hit. Up the middle. And that will load the bases. Sakala gets her first hit of the season. One out. Bases are loaded. And now bring up the second baseman, Madison Caldwell, who's 0 for 2 on the day. First pitch to number 28. Foul tip. On deck is Dickinson. Eight hits now for the Eagles. Gilbert. Nice off-speed pitch. And she quickly gets ahead. 0-2 count to number 28. Gilbert. The 0-2. Check swing. She did go. And Franklin Pierce now 1 out away from capturing their first win of the season in their season opener. Brooke Dickinson, who's 0 for 3 on the day, digs in. Bases loaded, 2 outs. 17-5. Franklin Pierce. And Samantha Sylvester, she got the start here today for Franklin Pierce. Was outstanding in her first start of the year. She faced 16 at-bats in 4 innings, 3 earned runs, only 5 hits. One and one count. And the second half of our Monday afternoon doubleheader coming up next here on the CACC network. That one's in the dirt. Go to third with it. Not in time. This game has eclipsed the 2.5 hour mark. It's 2-1. You had 5 errors for Post, 1 for Franklin Pierce. Right down Broadway. Called strike 2. And the Eagles are down to their last strike here in the season opener. And they have an opportunity to avenge this loss in the second half of our doubleheader. 2-2. Swing and a miss. And that will do it. Franklin Pierce, they win 17-5 in the first half of our doubleheader. Stay tuned for the second game right here on the CACC network.